Thank you, Ted, for giving us an opportunity to talk about this extraordinary event, the pandemic. These are extraordinary times, require extraordinary measures. And I just want to let everyone know that your city is staying in constant touch with the state and all state and local sources of information and advice. We have in Virginia now 29 cases, up from 17 yesterday. And as you know, the governor has closed the schools for the next 2 weeks. Our own internal organization, our staff has been meeting. We have our emergency operations center set up. We have not yet declared a local state of emergency. We have the paperwork. We are ready to do so when we deem it necessary, and we are all set up to operate our emergency operations center on a 24-hour basis. As far as our community is concerned, I applaud our local businesses and local restaurants like Foodie and Alpine Chef, who are stepping forward to take measures to keep their customers safe and their employees safe, and also making food deliveries available. Yeah. You know, don't, if you're uncomfortable with going out, buy a gift card, use it later, or call it in a to-go offer. But we are finding that many organizations are stepping up to the mark. We have here internally made our sick leave we've expanded that to encourage employees not to come to work if they feel ill. We are also going to expand our telework opportunities. City Hall is open and City Hall will remain open and will be here to serve you. In order to expand that telework opportunities, we actually have to expand their broadband capabilities, and we are doing that as we speak. We will be having daily briefings to the public, and please watch our website and our Facebook page for those. As far as our various departments are concerned, we have not at this time closed any public facilities. We have not closed our parks or our Dorothy Hart Center. We do have 2 events this weekend. One is a run, which is outside, and the other is the Women's Club Art Show, which is already up at Dorothy Hart and will remain up through Sunday. But when schools are closed, Parks and Rec closes their events. And so schools will be closed for at least 2 weeks. So all of their events will be closed. Parks and Rec has also delayed all of their spring sports schedule, or put on a delay. We have concerns when the schools are closed, and one is that we have children and families who rely upon the food that they receive from our schools. And the school system is going to implement their mobile lunch program so that they can provide 1 meal a day for families, and we'll implement or put into operation 2 of our mobile food trucks to go to communities to supply that. We are also organizing through the city manager's office a volunteer corps. We have services who rely upon volunteers who will be impacted by this. The Thurman Brisbane Center is one, Micah is one, Lois Ann Hope House, Hazel Hill. And so we are going to instigate a volunteer corps of our employees to serve as a contingency and a backup for those necessary services that are largely manned by volunteers in the community. That's most of where we are today. This is a fluid situation. It changes dramatically, it seems, hour from hour. While we were in meetings with all of the department heads and everybody establishing these policies within the city, we were receiving the communique from the governor's office and we were receiving communiques that the president had declared a national state of emergency. So things are changing very rapidly. We will, as I said, provide daily briefings. We will provide information on our website. We strongly urge you to follow the Virginia Department of Health information on their website, which is vdh.gov. And that pretty much runs down. Obviously, we are doing everything we can to keep our employees safe and our citizens who come to City Hall by stepping up the hygiene of our employees, as well as stepping up all of our cleaning policies, and in particular and frequent attention to doorknobs and bathrooms.
Yeah. You mentioned the local emergency. Would that be declared just based on numbers, or is there anything that would trigger a local emergency?
The city manager is keeping in touch with other localities and with the state and to make that decision.
But this has been unlike any week I can ever remember.
Oh my goodness. It's like everything turning upside down.
Yeah.
I will tell you, if you look in the Freelance Star, September 1918, you will see where the mayor, whose name was Rowe, who was Joe Rowe's grandfather, shut everything down.
Yeah.
Churches, public meetings. He declared there could be no public gathering anywhere in the city of Fredericksburg, and that mandate remained in place from September 28th to November 8th of 1918, and that was the Spanish flu epidemic.
Do you ever remember, did your family ever talk about that, what it was like here?
No, they did not. They did not. My mother would have been a small child.
Yeah.
I don't remember any anecdotal tales about that, but that probably is the last pandemic that affected Fredericksburg that I can think of. But this is just such, I want people to feel less anxious. I want you to know that your city is on top of it, and that we are following all the latest guidelines and putting out all the best and latest information that we have for the public. And if you have concerns, you can always call 372-1010. That's the city manager's office phone, but there are a number of people who will come to get to you that way.
No, it sounds like the meetings. I mean, the meetings that you've had today, and the city's on top of it as well as you can be.
Right. There's so many things to think about. For instance, Sheriff Higgs is in touch with the jail for what to do if they have to transport a sick prisoner to the hospital for testing or to be evaluated. Our hospital is doing a yeoman's job. They've set up a whole triage outside of the emergency room. And that's another question that I have been asked and that everyone is concerned about, and that is, how can you get tested? And it seems that many of the private physician offices do not have test kits. Probably you should check with an emergency department and go there if you think you need to be tested. That's the best advice I can get from our fire and rescue folks, because as we still know, the testing kits are not widely available. One of the problems with this. But again, if everybody washes his or her hands, and I'll guarantee you your children will be the ones to say, that wasn't 20 seconds, because they're standing and counting the seconds off. I've seen them do it. But if everybody will be careful to follow sensible guidelines, avoid large crowds, but go where when your local businesses, you know the people, you know the employees, and just stay well.
Well, just like you said,
Keep yourself healthy. Get plenty of rest. Take your vitamins. Get out and get some fresh air and walk.
Yes, Mom.
The mom in me is coming out.
But like you said, you want to be safe and in all of that. But economically, like you mentioned, what some of the businesses are doing, that's a real concern to everybody. What's economically happening locally?
Exactly, and it's a real drain on all of our businesses when the schools close, and folks have to stay home with their children, and they're trying to work from home if they can, and there are lots of jobs that can't. So this is of a very serious concern, and we all need to pull together to meet the needs of assisting each other as far as childcare is concerned.